Hey everybody, I'm back with part 3. Did you know there's different ways to sew the V part on the corset? Some of you might be familiar with these, but as you know, I like to show you different ways to sew a corset. So in this tutorial, I will show you 5 ways on how I like to sew the V part. Let's get into this. This is method 1. These are the materials I will be using. If you would like to know how to drape this design, I will leave the link in the description below. The first step is to cut a 2-inch strip on the bias. Here are 2 pieces of Ridgeline boning. This size is 12 millimeters. Sew the strip a 1/2 inch to make a casing for the boning. Make sure you press the seam to the side, not on the back. After that, put a boning inside all the way. Then take the other one and put it on the other side. Push it all the way till it touches the other piece. Once you do that, you can turn it on this side or on the other side. The seam will still be on the side. Now let me show you something. I cut this strip on the straight grain. I don't like how it looks. That's why I didn't cut it on the straight grain. This one is cut on the bias and it looks nicer than this one. This has a little lump right here. After I turned it inside out, I cut the extra fabric next to the seam allowance and it takes a little longer to turn it inside out, so I'm not happy with it. Now hear me out. If you're going to bead, put applique or put lace fabric on top, then this doesn't matter. You can put the strip on the straight grain or the bias, and you don't have to put the seam on the side, but that's only if you're going to cover the V part. The next step is to take your corset mesh and sew it to the right side, which is the front of your corset. Let's sew. Then sew a 1/2 inch on both sides of the V like this. This is how it's going to look on both sides. After that, trim off 1/4 on both sides and then sew 1/8 on both sides. It will look like this. The next step is to make the casing and put the Ridgeline boning inside. You're going to fold over the fabric like this so that it's clean and it doesn't scratch your client's chest, or make a hole in the corset mesh. Put a pin to hold it down and sew it on top. This is how it looks, nice and flat. Now we're going to sew it right over here. Make sure it's in the middle of the seam. Let's sew. This is how it looks. The next step is to sew the V part. This is the V right here. When you turn this over, it will lay on the other side of the V on the corset mesh. Put a pin right here so you know where to start sewing. I'm going to sew this side first, all the way up. So I'm going to turn it over. I will start sewing right here. It has to be right next to the edge. So I will sew it all the way up, then I will turn it around and sew it down. Before you start sewing this, make sure that this is on the edge of the casing. Do not pass this line. Same for this side. So when you sew it, it will be on top of the center front boning like this. This is the crucial part when it comes to the V. You have to sew very slow right here because it's really thick and you will be sewing over 2 pieces of Ridgeline boning. I like to hand crank it sometimes. If you don't do it right, you will break a needle or your machine, or it can sew over your finger. Yes, you heard me right, because sometimes the needle can skip a hole. So please be very careful when you're sewing this. This is how one side looks. Before you sew this, put a pin on top of each side so it stops the boning from moving out of place. As you can see, it's on the edge. This is how the back looks. Next, sew the other side. Let's sew. When you get right here, slow down. If you want, you can hand crank it here. This is how it looks. Here is the boning for the other side. If you look closely, the other side of the casing is slanted. It's not straight. So you want the bottom of the boning to look slanted so that it fits. We don't want a little gap there. It's not a major issue, but I like to do that. So let me put it in and let me show you what it looks like. Can you see the difference? You see the gap is gone. It fits perfectly. Now let's sew the other side. Look how neat the V looks. You guys have been asking me how to sew this bust cup, so I'm going to show you. And also there's 2 ways you can do the top of the V. So I'm going to show you both of them, okay? So here is the pattern. My design starts right here. This is the 1/2 inch seam allowance. For this method, you have to leave the seam allowance on the pattern, so don't cut it off. This is the 1/2 inch seam allowance right here. Sew a 1/2 inch all around the cups. That's for you to know where to put the cups when it's time to sew. Then fold over the 1/2 inch seam allowance. After that, sew close to the edge about 1/8 all around the cup. For the lining, you don't have to put interfacing, but you can if you want it to be more structured. I put interfacing for method 3 and 4. Next up, take this 1/8 stitch and put it a little after this stitch right here. Put it right at the corner. And then put the cup a little after the 1/2 inch stitch, about 1/16, 1/8, not more than that. You see it? It's a little after the stitch. Once you do that, you're going to pin it all around and sew on the 1/8 stitch that's on the cup. After that, you can bend the 1/2 inch seam allowance over. Let's say you want to do this method. When you finish sewing the cup on this line, you can bend the ridgeline boning. You can also cut it sideways like this. I wouldn't mess around with this side because it can affect the way you sew the cup. The boning can come out, and trust me, nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to make their corset again. When you use this method, make sure that the lining is interfaced so it doesn't rub against the client's chest. The interfacing will stop it. For method 2, you have to cut the 1/2 inch seam allowance off the pattern before you start cutting the fabric. With this method, you have to be real careful when you sew the cup. The stitches have to catch the corner of the boning. If not, the boning will stick out. So you can't sew it too close to the corner like this, like how I showed you in method 1. The fabric will have to come out some more. So when you sew it, it stitches on the corner of the boning. This is how it looks when it's pinned in the front, and this is the back. After that, sew on top of the stitch that's on the cup like this. When you finish sewing it, it should look like this. But just remember, to do this method, the lining has to be interfaced so it doesn't irritate the person wearing it. You can't feel it when the lining is interfaced. For the lining, I hand stitched it because sometimes I don't like to see the stitches. There is another way to finish the lining, and that's to pin the cup to the front and pin the lining in the back together on the 1/2 inch seam allowance of the corset. Then sew the stitch on the front of the cup and it should catch the bottom of the lining in the back. I decided to sew a slip stitch, also called an invisible stitch. Here is the final look for method 1. Do you like this method? Let me know in the comments. And of course I had to make it in pink. What do you think? Are you going to do method 1 or method 2 for the V part? These are the pieces I will use for method 2. You guys are going to love this one. For this method, I will use this. This is called a V-wire separator. It's very strong and it comes in different shapes and sizes. This is what it looks like. You can open it a little and use pliers to close it. A lot of people don't know about this wire. These make your bustiers look so good. You can see that it's very strong. So for my international subscribers that's on my channel, what I want you to do is go to your marketplace and tell them to find this for your bustiers. Trust me, the more people that ask for it, they will look for it and find it for the designers because it's a business and they want you to buy from them. Let me show you where I got mine. These are from StitchLoveStudio.com and they have different sizes. The one I'm using is size 9. I absolutely love these. They are perfect for method 2. I also have the underwires, rings and sliders, and the elastic bra straps. I love these and I can't wait to try them. I got these from a company on Etsy. These are the sizes I got. And I got these from Pacific Trimming years ago, but I don't remember the sizes. Sorry guys. What I like to do is mark the seam allowance here on top and here all the way down so I can see where I want to put the V-wire. I decided to sew from here all the way up to here. The stitch is right here, but the bottom of the wire will be under that stitch about 1/4. That's where you're going to close it. The top of the wire cannot be too close to the cup seam allowance because you won't be able to sew the cup. But it also can't be too far from here because you want the V part to stand up. Let's say I wanted to use this one. I won't be able to use it for this design. In order to use these, you have to trace the shape of the wire first in order for it to fit when you're draping or pattern making. Same thing goes for these wires. You have to trace the shape of the wire first. This is the main fabric and this is the lining. Put both pieces right side to right side and sew these pieces together. From this point all the way up, do the same for the other side. Then cut right here for the front and back. After that, turn it over and put a pin 1/4 under the V part. Then sew a 1/4 stitch and stop right here. Do the same for the other side. Let's sew. Next, take the V wire and put it in like this. Then sew it closed right here. Let's sew. What I like to do is make a 3/8 stitch here and here. So I can put a 1/4 stitch plastic boning on both sides, like this. Here is the final look for method 2. Do you like this one? And are you going to try this V wire? These are the pieces I will use for method 3. Let's say you ordered your V wire and you're waiting for your shipment, but you need to make your garment today. So here's what you can do for the meantime. Cut 3 pieces originally boning, then put it on the lining and sew it like this. After that, put a light or medium weight interfacing on top. Next, trace the V on the lining fabric and then put the lining and main fabric right side to right side. After that, sew on the V part and sew the 1/2 inch seam allowance on top. Then clip the fabric but not too close to the stitches. As you can see, you can't see the originally boning shape on the main fabric. That's because I put the interfacing on the lining so it covers the originally boning. So for this method, I decided to sew the originally boning on all the seams, so the stitches will not show on the front or back. So I sewed these pieces together and then sewed the main fabric to the seam and took the lining and sewed it to the back on the same seam. Once you do that, you can sew the originally boning on the seam and you won't see the stitch in the front or back. You can also stitch it down on the lining if you want. I like to do that too. Here is the final look for method 3. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. These are the pieces I will be using for method 4. The first thing I will do is notch where I want to stop sewing. Then put the 2 pieces together on the right side and sew from the notch down to the waist. After that, cut the seam allowance off about 1/4 and sew it down so it doesn't interfere when it's time to sew the boning. Let's sew. Just in case you guys are wondering, I did not cut the 1/2 inch seam allowance on top, and I sewed the cup the same way I did in method 1. So this is how it looks. This method is the most common one. Which one is your favorite? If you're getting value from this, then please give this video a like so it can help other creators who want to learn how to sew the deep V neckline corset. These are the pieces I will be using for method 5. First, fold your lining piece and press it so it leaves a crease line. Then use your pencil and mark your V. After that, mark your 1/2 inch seam allowance on top and make a straight line under your V. As you can see, this line right here starts to curve at the V point, and the originally boning is straight, but you will have a gap right in the middle. the gap will look like this, and I don't really like it. So I want it to look like this. The first thing I like to do is put the boning a little under the 1/2 inch seam allowance. So when I turn the seam allowance inside out, it doesn't give me a problem with the boning. Then I mark right here where it wants to curve, and I use the iron to curve that part only like this. This is how it's going to look once that part is curved. The rest of it will be straight. Now there's no gap under the V. Next, put a light or medium weight interfacing on top, and do not use a steam. It will shrink and ruin the whole piece. After that, put the lining and main fabric right side to right side and sew the V part. Then sew the seam allowance on top here and here. Then cut around the V and clip off some of the seam allowance on top. Then flip it over. So for this method, I decided to put the original boning only on the lining. This is how it looks for method 5. Do you like this method? So now let me ask you a couple of questions. Be honest, guys. Which one have you been sewing? Which one you don't like? And which one are you going to try? Here is my honest opinion. They are all nice except for the yellow one. I don't like it. My favorite is the V-wire and of course the blue one I made. But what about you? Let me know in the comments. So guys, I hope you learned something from this video. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like so other creators can also learn different ways to sew the V neckline. If you want to learn how I draped this corset, then tap on the screen right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to practice, practice, practice. Bye, everybody.